Time I won't script like the Dire Wolf interview. All right, guys, welcome to the Echelon Files, episode 2, with my guest today being one of the most favorite bears on the internet, besides Yogi. Barry, how you doing, mate?
You're very kind. You're very kind. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, so let's get started with the first question. How did you get into making content? Because I've noticed with a lot of people, it seems to be like either one specific event or just legit, just finding this craziness and just being like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I sort of I never really used to use YouTube in terms of like having an account and being subscribed to people and that sort of thing. And one of my mates that I used to go around to his house and we'd just drink beers in his garage. He's a big fan of Sargon of Akkad, and so he used to always have him playing, and over time you just sort of, Sargon's got one of those voices that you just go, oh, that's just lovely, isn't it? And you get used to it, and so I started listening to him and eventually made an account and subscribed to him because I wanted to get his new videos and all that. And I thought, that's being a YouTuber, that sounds novel. We'll give this a bash. I bet I can trigger some cunts. And so I just did it that way. So it wasn't really a case of I was pissed off at anything, and so I had to voice my opinion. It was just I kind of just heard someone do it and thought I can do that, and so I did it.
Yeah, I work for a Brit too, so I get it. The voice is alluring.
What's that?
My boss, the one I work for USNN, he's a Brit, so I get you. Yeah. I mean, my thing was kind of similar. I just found videos by Amazing Atheist and the Satirician. Loved them. Yes, loved them. Loved the my brain just went with the logic, and just yeah. And then
Satirician's got one of those voices as well. He's got a similar silky British accent.
Yeah, I remember the shoe on head drama that happened with him.
Oh yeah. That was when he responded to the Poe video.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I think when that happened, I went on this because I'm very much of like, if I can look at a situation and realize someone's in the wrong, I want to respond. So I watched her video on it, and then I would pause it, and I was writing at the comments. I was writing this long ass response comment. Like every time she made a point, I would like pause it, type, continue until the video was over. That's what I did for you, Satirician. I spent like 20 minutes.
Nice.
I love that Brit. Yeah. So that's interesting. So it's just a proximity thing. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. How about this? Here's a fun one. Views on the alt-right and alt-lite, because they are a hot topic.
Yeah, I mean,
so to speak.
I think. I mean, there's certainly a lot of there's a lot of bullshit going around about it. There's a lot of people that will just say, "Oh, the alt-right, they're Nazis." That fucking annoys me. That annoys the hell out of me. Like, sure, there might be a few fuckheads that turn up to things with Nazi flags. Yeah, okay, they're cockheads. That's there's going to be cockheads everywhere. But I think take that Charlottesville incident for example. Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched everything out there, all the footage out there of it. But I mean, was there 5 Nazi flags? Was there 10? Okay, there's 10 cockheads. So what? Yeah. That doesn't illegitimize a entire group of people.
Yeah, I think there was a tweet out there that said there's they went by percentages. I think it was one of the people that was there is 30% white nationalists or something. I don't remember.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I don't agree. I mean, I wouldn't call. I'm not an alt-righter sort of thing. That's not me. But I mean, they haven't done anything to piss me off, really. I mean, guys with Nazi flags and doing Hitler salutes and shit. Okay, yeah, that's a bit distasteful. You're a fuckhead. But I certainly wouldn't. When you hear some of the hype about, they want to do genocide and all that, like, no, they're just fucking. They just think they're edgy. It's simple as that. Just ignore them. You're giving them exactly what they fucking want.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't agree with them. I think they should. But I think they should. I know they should have the right to say what they want to say, and we should have the right to laugh at them for it. Because I remember seeing the pictures of the tiki torches, like the March Tiki Torch. I was laughing my ass off because some of these guys look like something out of a fucking cartoon.
That was a bit absurd. Yeah, I mean it's not a good look, is it? I mean,
you look like a cult.
It looks like a cult or an old KKK scene. But as you just said, you do have the right to look a bit stupid. I mean, you've got every right to do that. So
I wrote a whole article on the whole thing. So it's like,
did you?
Yeah, it's on the site. But yeah, it's just the fact that and if anyone watching who's actually in the mainstream media realizes this, the only reason this happened is because you wanted a monster. You wanted your Nazis, and you got surprised when you got Nazis.
Yeah.
You can't call every white person racist and then expect someone to not punch you in the face for it. Well, I don't think violence is correct. It's just that every person has their tipping point. And the fact that you would try to remove this statue of Robert E. Lee, whether you agree with what he did in his life or not, he is a historical figure. That monument is meant to honor him not as a racist or anything, but as a general, as someone who served his country in his own way during the war he was in, even though he was fighting his own countrymen. And we shouldn't be erasing history. That's not the way to go. Yeah, it's like, and I think, and while I don't always agree with him, Donald Trump was right. Writing his tweet, like, who are we going to be pulling down next? George Washington, he owned slaves. Are we going to pull down statues of Martin Luther King Jr. because he was against gay marriage and he was a womanizer? Are we going to pull down statues of Gandhi because he was a racist? At least I think he was a racist.
Someone made a really good point. I think it was last week. I was listening to a podcast or something. I can't remember who it was, but someone made the point that while we do see slavery as a horrible thing, which it is obviously a horrible thing these days, if you put yourself in the shoes of someone back then, I mean, prior to that in history, then opposing forces would simply slaughter each other, when they won a battle or something. So it's kind of like, I mean, at some point, the idea of taking slaves was a form of mercy. Instead of just cutting all their throats and chopping all their heads off, they took them as slaves. So it's a perspective thing, isn't it? I mean, we can't expect the entire history of our people to have the social justice values of today.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's like people act like everyone back then had slaves. Like every mom and pop shop had 3 black guys working the counter for no money. No, it was like 2% in America.
Yeah, and there were black slave owners too. I think at one point one of the slave owners that owned the most slaves was a black guy.
Yeah, there was a shit ton of black slave trade in Africa where we got the slaves from. Black guys are selling other black guys down the street for money. Yeah, it's just.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, I think that when the Atlantic slave trade was happening, the white guys couldn't venture into the interior of Africa because they just get killed. Yeah, so I think they largely stayed near the coasts and then traded with African slave traders who they would go into the interior and capture slaves and bring them to the coast.
Yeah, because they were mostly from their own tribes that they were taking the slaves from. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And it's just it's just a waste of money. Like, think about it. You have to hire a crew to pull down that statue. Like, that could be money going to the education.
That's right.
The children.
That's right.
Or paying for my own.
Do you watch Dr. Andrew McCann?
No, not at all. But I am subscribed to him.
Yeah, you should watch his videos. He makes some fucking brilliant points, and he made one that's relevant to what we're talking about the other day. He did a video called the zebra crossing fallacy, and he's invented it, right. And what the zebra crossing fallacy is, if you imagine, person A says this zebra is black, and then person B says no, it's not, and so person A goes, are you saying that all zebras are white? And that kind of gets applied to what we're talking about a lot. Like you can imagine a regressive listening to this podcast and saying, "Oh my God, they're excusing slavery. They're Nazis." When that's not what we're doing at all. It's a really good fallacy he's come up with, the zebra crossing fallacy.
It's like in today's regressives, if you're watching this, which I really doubt, because you probably need more brain cells to turn on the live feature. Name me one civilization that ever got anywhere without enslaving some people.
Yeah, that's right. And it's the same with like in Australia, we have there's always talk about the fact that we stole the land off the Aborigines and that sort of thing, and like there's not a fucking inch of earth that hasn't at some point been forcibly taken from another people and blood spilled on it. There's no, it's happened everywhere.
Yeah, same. My mom was born in New Zealand, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. So are you married or?
Well, my mom's white, so Pakeha.
Okay.
I'm guessing. I like to call myself a blackie-ha. Yeah, because I'm half black. I don't know. Because when I was doing my interview with Direwolf, he assumed I was of Hispanic descent.
I watched that, so I did know that you were half black. I watched part of that.
Oh, you watched it? Oh, that's. I'm sorry, I got the camera locked. That was what I was referring to in the beginning. My dumbass, I locked the camera to my instead of our thing.
You've got a pretty face.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Barry. Thank you. We'll think of it. Well, yeah, I'm not prettier than Sugar Tits, so let's just.
Nah, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just. So okay. Speaking of that, what's it like being not only doing this YouTube thing, but having someone being in a relationship with someone who is also doing it? Does it ever get stressful, or you ever just have days where you guys just are never talking because you're both working, or?
No, not at all. It's pretty cool. I mean, like this is our job, and we're lucky enough to have jobs that like this shit interests me. Like I really like cringe, so I really like to sit down and look at the latest bullshit that they're getting up to and sort of cringe at it. So no, it's really enjoyable. We've each got a separate studio in the house, so we've got 2 dedicated rooms that we each work in, and they're right next to each other. So it's good. I'd rather be doing this than off at an office in the middle of the city like I used to be.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hang on a sec. Tits is doing this. Shut up, Tits.
Oh no! Hey, I don't need her shut up. Bring her in here. We need the views.
No, she's doing the dishes. Don't interrupt her.
Hi, Sugar Tits. See, out of context, I sound like the biggest cunt.
No, it's she's used to cunts.
Yeah. Yeah, she has one. Note. If Sugar Tits sees this,
she has two.
No, if Sugar Tits, you see this, I have a perfect gentleman. Yeah. Yeah. So, what else? I had a freaking list. You
did. Yeah.
I did. I'm pulling it up right now.
I've got it here. How you got into making content?
We already have
opinions on modern left and opinions on modern left and right. They're fucking. I mean, in Australia, we're not as polarized. We don't. like before I got into YouTube, I like it just wasn't a thing. You don't really live your life thinking, well, I'm on the left or I'm on the right sort of thing. It's just we don't really give a fuck here. Like it doesn't really come up that often. But I've noticed it's a massive thing. It's just constantly on people's minds in America. So I've ever since I've started interacting with more Americans and Europeans, I think more like that. But I mean, I'm I suppose what you'd call a classic liberal.
Same here.
If I take the fucking that test thing, I end up sort of just left of center. So I mean, but it's funny because I mean the amount of times that I get called I get called far right or alt right, it's just ridiculous. It's fucking stupid.
Oh yeah.
So
a guy. Oh yeah, sorry. I was about to say one guy recently said that our site USNN was a hub completely with, I think it was like that covers all KKK activity, and go to our site for Klan.
Oh, for Klan, for meeting info and shit.
And it's like my boss was like, "You say that when my boss is Asian, I'm black. Another girl who I think is either Hispanic or something of that nature."
No, you're you're fucking white supremacist.
Oh yeah, Heil Hitler.
Yeah, that's fucking funny.
He was a fag.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, the way that the amount of misrepresentation that goes on and blatant just fucking labeling of anyone that what's the fucking expression? Anyone right of Karl Marx as a far right leaning fucking cunt. He's just it's sort of it's funny, but it kind of makes you a bit sick as well. It's dishonest. Here's one for you. I sat here and I watched a fucking 50 Splinters live stream that happened about a week ago that I didn't know. I didn't notice when it happened, right? And so I noticed this live stream from about a week ago, and I sat here and I watched it before. And what it was a like a fucking a cabal get together, like a crisis meeting after Charlottesville happened. And so she's got she's got
little bitches with her.
Yeah. She's got a social justice fucking crew together, and they're brainstorming the crisis and all that. And this guy, I don't know if you know him. His name's Martin Hughes, and he's a blogger, and he's just so fucking regressive. It's not funny. He says he actually makes a statement. He goes, he comes in sounding all concerned. He goes, you know what? This actually reminds me of a lot of Nazi Germany. Right, and then he goes on to say, I was actually in a fucking Facebook group the other. This is the very next thing he says. Right, this is what he says to expand on his point. He goes, this reminds me of Nazi Germany. I was in a Facebook group the other day of anti-SJWs, and they've got no compassion. They think it's funny to trigger people and be cunt, because that's what they fucking did in Nazi Germany, Martin, you fucking idiot. They got on Facebook groups and insulted each other. You fucks.
I know. No, Martin Hughes, is he the guy that was in the answers for anti-SJW video? He was the fuckwad with the American flag over his crotch.
American flag over his crotch. I don't remember that.
It was like one of them had this porn star mustache. He was wearing
No. He was on it. That's Mike Rowlands. He was on it. He was on it.
Fuck. I hate that. Okay, yeah. I'll look at Martin. I'll have to look at Martin and get my piece of my mind. But it's just like. It's like Nazi Germany was not this funny. It's like they took people in train cars and shit. You don't see Bering getting on the old Polar Express with shit. It's on the main gun and shit.
She was on the flak. But and then fucking Christy chimes in. She's the leader of the cabal. She goes, what did she say? She goes, it's just really worrying how channels like Sargon of Akkad, you can draw a direct line from their channels to Nazism and to hatred and then to violence, right? And then she's gone, I don't know what we do about this. Like, it's such a problem when there's people like just publicly spewing hate. She goes, I was in a Sargon of Akkad stream or a far writer's stream the other day, and someone actually wrote praise Keck. What does she think that's? Does she? I think she sees praise cake as code for Hail Hitler or something.
Yeah, I forget. What is Kekistan? I am not familiar. Is that? I know is that a real place?
You don't know what Kekistan is? It
No.
was the way Kekistan started out. Right, I haven't had that much involvement in Kekistan, but the way it started out was there was. I'm pretty sure there was a fucking there was a census, right, in England, right, or some sort of poll. Or I think it was a census, and there was a section on it saying what's your religion, or what's your fucking what country, what's your country of origin or something. And there was I think there was a space, there was a heap of options, right, and then there was a space where you could say other, right? Mm-hmm. And so Sargon one day just said, all right, everyone just fucking tick other and put Kekistan in. Let's make it an official country. And then we can say we're oppressed minorities from Kekistan.
Yeah, we're all refugees.
There's a great video on it where the amazing atheist, where TJ asked the same question to Sargon. He said, "What's Kekistan?" And Sargon just explains it thoroughly. So you should watch that, and it'll explain.
I'll have to check it out. But it's like we were talking about Christy. What I'm wondering is Christy or Fisty Splinters. Yeah. I'm just wondering is the reason why, and I know this is a joke within sort of the anti-SJW, is that the SJWs are like this because they just haven't gotten any dick lately.
Yeah.
No. That's it.
The way her face is all squinted up, she's always frowning. She needs a thick hot one up her. She fucking does. There's no doubt about it.
And Steve Shives needs to grow one and just fuck his wife for. Dear God, you can't let Teal'c's friend Tyrone do all the work.
Yeah.
And if you want to know context for that, watch the Rand Zerker answering to anti-SJW's video. It's a joke. But yeah, and also I think it comes from the fact that these people want to feel disenfranchised. That's why we have these trenders, why we have these SJWs, because they just want to feel like victims. They just want to be able to, they're always trying, I remember with that Laverne Cox cover on Time Magazine, the trans movement, the next civil rights frontier. They're always looking for that. Why are you looking for that? It's like Why do you want to be a victim? Isn't surely the idea is not to be a victim? Is to be like. It's like unless. And it's like they find this weird happiness in it because they feel special and they have this moral high ground. You don't. Yeah. When people like Christy Winters spread your docs everywhere, that doesn't make them a victim. That makes them a fucking cunt.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know who Tim Blake is? That's Michael.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, isn't he the little guy? The guy who looks like every little British boy, like red-haired British boy. He looks like the British kid, the redhead from Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, I don't watch that. I'm not fucking 6.
I watched it like 10 years ago, man.
You were 8 then. That's acceptable. I'm 32, man. So fucking. It's a generation.
I thought you were like 20. I thought I honestly, and maybe this is because of sugar tits, but I thought you guys were like in your like mid to late 20s, honestly, because like she looks like 6. She looks like 20 or like 16. And I was talking with Direwolf about this. He's married to a woman of Asian descent. It's like they all look young as shit. Like
yeah, they do. It's good. It's handy. No, Sugar Tits is 30, I think.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good. Hey, it's good. No one can tell.
Yeah, it's good. Direwolf's right. They do age well. you get good mileage out of them. But I wasn't going to say, but Tim. Just speaking of getting triggered and being victimized and shit. Yeah. The other day it was fucking insane. There was what's the fucking, it's not the ADL. I forget what it was. There's some fucking organization that apparently have lawyers and shit, and they defended the free speech of
ACLU. The ACLU. The ACLU, I believe.
AC, what does that stand for?
I will look that up right now. Because I keep forgetting you have a computer too.
Yeah, I do. American Civil Liberties Union. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they've obviously defended the free speech of some so-called Nazis, and they've fucking they've tweeted out a fucking promo or an ad or something the other day and it had a little white toddler on it, and like they'd be 2 or 3 years old, right? And this toddler was a white toddler, and they had this toddler was wearing a T-shirt that said free speech on it. And so fucking the way little Timmy boy's mind works is he goes, oh my God, white kid, free speech, Nazis. So he got triggered about this fucking picture of a white toddler with a free speech fucking top on it. That's nuts.
He probably realized that kid's probably gonna get more pussy than he will. Yeah. It's like that baby when he turns 9 will be getting. It's just and the thing is, people, these are not Nazis. Crown T, I know you know Crown T. But it's like if you ask Crown T, these are Nazis.
I made Crown T, man. I made him. I fucking I'm not joking. I didn't make. Like he had about 300 subscribers when I met him. I helped him grow his channel.
Yeah. It's like if they were actually Nazis, they would know how to goose step. They'd be wearing the right military attire. Yeah. It'd be like. Nazis, whether you like them or not, they were very organized. They had a uniform. These guys were not Nazis. These were random people who believe in a white ethno-state, which is idiotic because most of those guys probably have some black in them from like 1600s.
Yeah, I heard another good point the other day. You know how like you sort of commonly hear these days like Nazi white supremacists and shit, right? That doesn't make sense because the actual Nazis, right? The actual Nazis, they killed fucking millions and millions and millions of people, 99% white people. They weren't rounding up black people.
For the long hair, blue eyes. Probably with the women, they wanted big tits.
Yeah,
so they went for a very specific set of genes. They didn't go for race.
Yeah,
they went for the blonde hair, blue eyes.
They weren't white supremacists. So fucking.
So it's like you can either have Nazis, or you can have white supremacists. You can't have both, people. This is why they don't know how to goose step. They're not Nazis.
Yeah.
It's like and the thing that annoyed me about Churchill, besides the fact that the woman died, may she rest in peace, is the fact that you saw people like Richard Spencer who claiming that he has attacked like pepper spray or something. I saw photos of him there. I did not see any evidence that he had been attacked, and he wouldn't call it the attacker, which is odd.
I don't know if I don't see why Richard Spencer's such a big thing. I don't give a fuck about Richard Spencer. Like, I don't. It's like, what's he done that's noteworthy? Like, what is
he was able to get on Roaming Millennials channel.
Yeah, I mean that's nice, but I mean, what's he done of note other than make a speech and hold his glass up and talk about fucking states and shit? Like, who gives a fuck about him? Like, what he seems to be made into this. Oh, he got punched. That's right, he got punched, and there was someone took a video of him getting punched. I mean, but it seems that since then it's just Richard Spencer. Like, what does he do? What's he done? Like, stop making him into this fucking.
Yeah, if you want him to go away, if you want something to go away, you don't talk about it. It's like racism. If you want racism to go away, stop giving a fuck about race. Yeah, it's an immutable characteristics. It is the level of melanin in your skin. You cannot change that. No matter what Sean King says, you cannot just darken your skin, cut your hair, grow a pedo stash, and claim to be a black guy.
Oh, hang on. What about what's her name?
Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, Rachel. What about Rachel?
You can't tan either. You can't just tan and claim to be black.
Yeah, but she did. She tanned and she curled her hair, though. She did tan and curl her hair.
Hey, I'm black, dude. The curling hair doesn't mean shit to me.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Question though: did she have an ass big enough to bounce a quarter off of? Because then that might give her black status.
Or she might get ass implants. You don't know. They do ass implants.
Oh god, I don't like ass implants. I like natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bloody hell. Okay, so let me pull back up my list because I never actually pulled it up because I'm a fuckwit.
Your next thing was thoughts on the mainstream media and how it covers events like Charlottesville.
Because the way with the covering of Charlottesville, it was very white supremacists were the only ones to blame, but you forgot to mention the balaclava covered faggots over there fucking fighting. And if anyone's offended by my term,
the mainstream media are fuckheads. They're just fuckheads. It's so fucking ridiculous how much they demonize anyone that's slightly conservative, you know. And it's, as I said before, I'm what people would you know, I suppose call a classic liberal, but it's just it's kind of feels absurd that I'm defending conservatives all the time because because they're just getting pummeled and you know, being made into the devil, and it's just no, that's ridiculous. What you're saying is stupid. Stop saying that. But yeah, it's crazy, and the way that remember back when like about a month ago or something when CNN threatened to dox that little cunt fucking.
Making a meme of you getting punched, of getting your logo getting punched by Donald Trump. Did frickin' Ted Turner need to check his manhood before you tweet out? It's like that's not threatening the unless if Donald Trump had held like a bloodied head of fucking Don Lemon, I could consider that a threat.
Yeah,
but it's like him sending out a meme. When did memes become threats? It's like if I put out a meme of if Baring put out a meme of him kicking me in the dick, kicking a guy with my face superimposed on the dick, I wouldn't be like, "Oh my God, Baring is threatened to kick me in the dick." Like, this bear's in Australia. How the fuck is supposed to kick me in the dick?
Yeah, yeah. The mainstream media is just insane, and like, I mean, I remember not too long ago. You know, everyone sort of, you know, most people thought that Fox News were crazy motherfuckers. I think, you know, it's almost to a point where Fox News are the sane ones. They're the ones making sense. Like, I really enjoy fucking Tucker Carlson. I think he makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Tucker. If I get him on the show, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But you're just having you here is amazing. I mean, it's like it's just like that. And the reason I say this because, like I said, this is a new thing. The fact that I've gotten Direwolf, who has a somewhat large following, sticks out. And then
your audio's fucking up. You might want to. Do you want to just go up to settings and then just switch it to another mic and then back to your normal one and then hit save?
All right. Okay. Let me just work with that because everyone is liking and retweeting that post you retweeted of mine. Let me just find it.
I can't hear you. You're roboting pretty bad.
Reconnect. Are we back?
No. Is it on mine?
No.
Oh, hang on. No, speak again.
Yeah, I think my mic disconnected. I'm micless.
No, that's better. You're back.
Yeah, just my mic. My Blue Yeti is making me regret it. Let me try.
No, you're back. You're back, man. You're back. It's all good.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah. Wait. What were we talking about before my mic cut out?
We were talking about Tucker Carlson.
Oh yeah, Tucker. Yeah, so like I think I recently, I don't know, you saw it. There was recently this woman that went on Tucker Carlson's show. It was a black woman. And it was like she was just claiming that all white people are racist. I was like, what?
Was that the one? Was that the one that wanted to ban white people from the? What was it? It was like she was trying to call it a black event or something, and she didn't want white people to come or something. Was that the one?
I think so. I didn't watch all of it.
She was a nutcase. She was one of the most insane fucking guests I've ever seen on his show.
Oh no, you have not seen Nuts yet. Actually, I watched the video yesterday. From No Bullshit. He was responding to a video by this very, very big black woman who claimed that white people are not human and that we are demons.
What?
Though, then again, I don't mind the idea of like my avatar is a demon, just like with claws and shit. I don't mind it. I don't think.
What was
Like,
that on? Did you say that was on No Bullshit's channel?
yeah, no bullshit. He responded to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that. That sounds good.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see her. She's big enough to have her own orbit.
Oh yeah, there she is. Yeah, fuck. Nice.
Control room. I'm gonna. Okay. There you go. There we go. All right. Just boosted our audio a little bit with the control panel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Google, you aren't a complete piece of shit. Yeah, it's nuts. It's like I love that it's mainly black women. Like if you look at it, you don't see too many black dudes saying this stuff. It's mainly black women. It's alarming.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Tariq Nasheed. I mean, he's one of the only ones I've seen that's like a black person I've seen that's really bad like that. But there are a few black women out there that are exceptionally racist.
Yeah, I think I think it's the black man's fault in this case because we discovered white women, and then we discovered white women with nice asses, and then we discovered the Asians and the Latinas. We left our sisters. Right. Dear God, we left them, and now they're pissed and they're horny. And they don't have a man around because they kick them out and take money from the government. Have 9 babies.
Well, maybe the government needs to start issuing fucking free dildos to black women.
No, man. You can't replicate the black dick. You can't replicate that shit.
Well, they'd need too much raw material. It'd strain the economy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, it's a sad thing. It's like, I especially with the women. I do think it is a lack of actual like dateable men because they've created this sort of weird beta male that wants to serve their every need. And I think we just need to get guys back into that thing. Like you see a lot more videos nowadays of people saying, "Don't be this beta bitch. Be assertive.
No, that's never a good idea.
Yeah, don't be a beta bitch. Like think about it. Think about it. If think about it in any of our cases, like say I don't. Okay, fuck it. If Armored Skeptic was the biggest beta bitch in America or in Canada, wherever the fuck he is, I really doubt he would be hanging shoe on head because it's not the beta qualities are not attractive to anyone. No. And I'm just using them as the first couple to come to my head. Ironically enough, with you on the line.
No, I mean, I get it. It's never good to not be assertive and be upstanding. That's right.
It's yeah. So yeah, I've noticed in a couple of videos you talked about how I think it was in a live that 70 something questions with Sugar Tits live stream you did. You mentioned that you were a big fan of World War II history.
Yeah, I am. Fascinated with World War I and II, and I mean, I think a lot of people are sort of have a fascination with historical conflict. It's a fascinating topic. So I like my documentaries and I listen to audiobooks and that sort of shit about it. It's fascinating.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have a couple of history episodes of the show up soon about like Dunkirk and a whole bunch of stuff from World War I and II. If you want to collab on it, you want to come on, cool. And yeah, I'd be happy to have.
Yeah, might contribute something. Apparently, there's my mum was telling me the other day that apparently in the movies at the moment here there's a movie about Dunkirk. Yeah, that sounded fascinating. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It got a lot of heat because it was full of white men.
It was what?
SJWs gave it shit because it was mainly white men, and I'm like, people, this is a historical period piece about a battle in the south of France. Do you really expect to see fucking cholos in the background, fucking souping up their SUV? Like,
Yeah.
it's like you are in the south of fucking France in like 1940s, in the 1940s, 1950s. It's going to be white as shit, just like Africa is black as shit.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Isn't it ridiculous when they demand for racial diversity and shit? In things like historical movies and shit, when they're just there weren't black people around, there weren't trannies around. It was just they weren't around.
Yeah, it's like I don't get that, and I remember watching a Dave Rubin interview with some civil rights lawyer who's like, "Please, about the Oscar so white phenomenon." And my response to that is, and I'll probably end up making a full video on it. It's like, why would you want token? Because what they're asking for isn't inclusion; it's tokenism.
Yeah,
You're asking us to add token blacks, token trannies, token gays for no reason other just to have them there.
Yeah.
And it's like,
there's Jeffrey Tits Holiday. Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah, and it's like, one guy I think that made a good point is Jamie Foxx. I have a lot of respect for him because when he got his Oscar for, I think it was for a movie he recently did, he didn't claim, oh, we need more blacks in the Oscars. He's like, black people, step your game up, get better at acting, make better movies. That's how you get here. You don't get here by bitching and moaning.
Yeah, but wasn't the complaint that there should be like equal representation of blacks and whites in the Oscars? I mean, that kind of does make sense, because I mean, if it was proportionate to the population, wouldn't there be 13%?
Yeah, I think it already is close to that, like 12-13% of the people that or at least people in films like get in are black, and it's pretty much all pretty much represented equally. And what annoys me the most is that Jackie Chan. I love Jackie Chan. I love Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3. I wish you'd make a fourth. But when I heard he got an honorary Oscar, or I think it was an honorary award from like the Oscars or something. While I felt like, hey, great, he got an award. I don't think that they could have said for your years of cinema. They didn't give it to him for his years of cinematic achievement. They didn't give him for the dozens upon dozens of films he's done that brought joy to millions. They just gave him an honorary award.
They gave him the Slanty Eye Award.
they gave him the, hey, we want to make Asians feel good for 5 minutes award. Like, I don't want to diminish that, but it's like, that's what they basically gave him. They didn't give him an award for his work in the industry. They gave him an award because he had the right level of melanin.
Yeah.
And it's like,
what was I going to say? There was. Did you hear about? Did you hear about the fucking the Asian sportscaster who got?
Oh yeah, Robert Lee got fired because too close to the Better Journal. He can. I hope he sues for defamation. I hope he sues for wrongful termination, defamation, all that.
No, I don't think he got fired. I think he just got switched around. I think he got moved. What?
No, he got fired.
Surely he didn't get fired. No, he can't have got fired.
I will pull it up right now.
I'm get fucked. He got fired. I'm doing a video about that. If he got fired, I don't know. Yeah. I thought he got switched around or something. Like got asked to call a different game or something.
No, he got fired. If I remember correctly, he got fired. Though if I'm wrong, I am happy to admit it. I hope he didn't. But
hang on a second.
All right. Okay. Don't look at my tabs. Note: there is no Pornhub. Robert Lee. Fuck.
Yeah, no. It says here on that Snopes fact check. So it says ESPN.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
ESPN did not fire sportscaster Robert Lee because his name offends liberal, but they did opt to reassign him from calling a UVA game after 3 deaths occurred during process.
oh.
Well, they moved him because a couple of guys crashed a helicopter. That's fucking ridiculous.
Well, yeah, it's ridiculous. Like his name is Robert Lee. It's not like, if his middle name is like it doesn't give you the right to pull him just because.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, like Leworski's was saying. I mean, what a good way. I mean, their excuse was we moved him to defend him from the memes, from the memes. And like
he's a grown man.
What a good way to attract memes. That's a red flag to a bull. Like there'll be people memeing about it now.
Yeah. I mean, like if you'd let him go, there probably would be memes, but probably a lot less memes. But the fact that you brought attention to it.
Yeah. Yeah, like Andy said, like people were gonna look at this Asian fella sitting there calling the game and go, that's the Confederate general.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's wearing the uniform and everything. I don't remember him being this light, but yeah, it looks like him. He's got the short hair, the very Asian features for a white guy. It's like you have expected to have his like battalion in the back of the announcer room or some shit. He's like, let's kill all the niggers. It's like, oh god. It's like
what else was on your topic list? Any topic you would like to discuss?
Yeah, anything you'd like to discuss, man?
I don't know. I'm sort of yeah, no, I think we've covered most of the current happenings, man.
Yeah. And though. So, okay, how about this? When it comes because I've noticed there was a couple months ago there was a controversy about like opponents channels.
Yeah, there's always controversy
like people were like, I remember like bringing up Armored Skeptic again. They went on that whole 3-hour live stream with that very big man
with the fat cunt and the beta. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they were like complaining that you were targeting 12-year-old girls.
Yeah.
When it comes to this part of the internet, do you think channels like yours that take a much more comedic approach to the SJWs rather than something like Roaming Millennial or Sargon of Akkad 10?
Well, so what's your question? Do I think my channel takes a more? Yeah, of course it takes a more comedic approach. But I think what you meant to ask. Am I roboting?
Roboting?
Doesn't my voice sound crackly?
No, it doesn't. No, I was asking, do you think it's important that we have this comedic approach to tackling the SJWs? Or should we have a completely...
Do I think it's important?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I think that there's obviously a market for it because people enjoy it. So it's not. So I don't sit there and I don't make videos with the intention to make people laugh because it's important. I do it because it's funny, and I do it because people enjoy it, and it's how I make money. So, I mean, it is an effective way to shine the light on some of these fuckheads because there is an element of my audience that are there for because they laugh at the content and they get exposed to these fucking idiots. So I think it's an effective way to expose these idiots to the light of day. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there because the thing is, if you can laugh at it, it's a lot easier to because I think what channels like yours does it provides an entertainment factor, which gets people interested, like you said. It exposes them to these fuckwits. Then, and I think this is a point Red Robot made in one of his videos on the subject, that they get into the more information information-based channels.
Mm.
Then they start learning. Then they start getting into it. Then they start forming their own opinions and their own arguments, and then they go on. Then they go and hopefully debate and tackle the SJWs the best way they can.
Yeah, that's true, and some don't. I mean, some don't. I mean, some are just there to laugh, and that's okay too. I mean, I'm not here to necessarily, change the world. I'm not a movement. I'm a man who just laughs at shit. So, I mean, it's good to keep things very, very simple sometimes. So, and I think that's where a lot of my humor sort of comes from as well. It's keeping things simple and in perspective.
Yeah. Okay, and this is probably the last one because I'm actually out of stuff too. Of any plans for the future, content-wise?
That's a fucking broad question. Any plans for the future? Yeah, world domination. I intend to run for president in 2064.
Minister for you because you can't run for our presidency. You were born in Australia.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get that law changed. I'm going to be that influential, and I'm going to get that law changed. So,
you're going to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger in a Demolition Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Somehow he gets into the presidency.
Look, any plans for the future in terms of being bearing? Look, I think at this stage and in this climate on YouTube, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not about making any grand plans. It's about maintaining what you've got. Unfortunately, and they've put us in that position, which kind of sucks. So at the moment, the focus is on ensuring that I keep the audience that I have built, and so you do that through diversifying, through building up VidMe channels and through building up Minds channels and that sort of thing. And trying your best to stay under YouTube's radar, which I've done pretty well at the moment. I mean, I haven't been mass demonetized or anything like that. So, and I'm still. I noticed a lot of people talking about, their growth, coming to a halt. They're sort of only trickling through, 1 or 2 subscribers a day. But I mean, I've gained a couple of thousand in the last fucking day, or last 2 days. So I'm doing okay at the moment. So I think it's just a case of business as usual and try to stay out of YouTube's spotlight because they're being cockheads. So no grand plans. It's about keeping what's currently in place.
Yeah, so no Bearing movie. We're not going to get an animated picture with
no Bearing movie at this stage.
Actually, that brings up a new topic. Actually, thank you. The thoughts on the sort of Google Maps demonetization. Do you think it? Sorry, I'm dying. Do you think it? I don't think it's a good idea that they're doing this because they're. I think Milo put it best. The beautiful faggot that he is, that they're getting rid of the dangerous people. They're getting rid of the interesting people like you, like Sugar Tits, like Sargon, like Armored Skeptic, like Dave Rubin. They're getting rid of all the interesting people.
But that's the thing. I mean, as far as I understand, Sargon hasn't been hit very hard with monetization, with demonetization. I haven't been hit very hard. So it's kind of like they're not going after people like us yet. They seem to be going after the smaller channels. They seem to be going after people with 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers, which is incredibly frustrating and shit ass. Fuck, what was I going to say? But in terms of not thinking it's a very good idea for Google to demonetize. I mean, the cold hard fact may be that that the money isn't there. I mean, if that's the case, then they've got to do something. They can't just run at a staggering loss to keep paying creators. I understand that, but I mean the question is how much of it is commercial reality and how much of it is ideological cleansing. Yeah.
With that Google memo, because it seems this all started with that, like this wave of mass demonetization seems to come from that Google memo. I view that.
I think that was just. I think that was a coincidence. I think the timing was a coincidence. So I think this round of demonetization was always coming, and that just happened to pop up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're done here. All right.
Yeah, man. That was good, man. But yeah, I'm sure we'll talk again in the future. Let me know if you want me to contribute anything to that war thing you're doing.
Yeah, that'd be lovely, and I'm always happy to have you back. Maybe with a double interview with Sugar Tits. We can have you back on the Sugar Tits episode.
Yeah, so you can watch us get into an argument, not live.
It'll be lovely. It'll be lovely to get into a marital spat. We can probably we could get like an animated thing of it done. And you guys
and you can just sit there and throw spanners in the engine and just watch us fight. It'd be great.
Yeah, great entertainment. So yeah, this has been episode 2 of the Echelon Files with the always lovely Bearing.
Thanks for having me, mate. It's been great fun.
All right. And we'll see you next time.